What's going on, guys? JSGC here, back again for another Manchester City video, where today I'm going to be doing a Manchester City transfer update, a really big update this one, when it comes to lots of players potentially leaving City in the summer transfer window, as well as some potential incoming. So before I do crack on with this video, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, do subscribe to my channel. I will keep you up to date with all the latest City transfer news here on YouTube, so if you haven't already, do subscribe. It is free. Social media links there in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up on the video. Let's go ambitious. 300 likes is the like goal. Also, don't forget to let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Finally, this video is sponsored and brought to you by Kitbag, who have got a special deal rolling for you guys for today only, where you can go and check out the Manchester City away shirt for this season, which is available for just £30. Links and details there in the description. As I said, it is only available for today, so do go and check it out if you do want to go and cop the Manchester City away shirt. And a big thank you to Kitbag for sponsoring this video. So we've got no contract news, so we're going to dive straight on in with the outs. First player I want to speak about, Matheus Nunes. Now, Fabrizio Romano has said that Manchester City will not stand in the way of Matheus Nunes leaving Manchester City in the upcoming summer transfer window should a good offer arrive in the summer. Jorge Mendes, the agent of Matheus Nunes, is aware of some interest in Matheus Nunes, so it's all about his agent. Is he able to drum up some interest, and is he able to get some concrete offers in to Manchester City? But City, they get a good offer, won't stand in the way of Nunes leaving. Now, moving on, speaking about Jorge Mendes, I want to speak about another player that is one of his clients at Manchester City, which is Bernardo Silva. Now, Fabrizio Romano has said that Jorge Mendes will be in Manchester in the coming weeks to speak to Manchester City about Bernardo Silva. There is, according to Fabrizio Romano, a strong chance that Bernardo Silva leaves Manchester City this summer. He will have 1 year left in his contract when it gets to the summer of 2025, so a deal wouldn't be that expensive for any potential suitors should there be some interest drummed up from Iberia, which is where Bernardo Silva wants to go once he leaves Manchester City. So we'll see if there is any more interest coming in from Barcelona, who's been linked. I don't know what their financial situation is right now, but normally they don't tend to shell out that much money to try and bring players in unless it is for free. I don't know if there is any more interest from other clubs in Spain, or whether there's some interest coming in from Portugal, the homeland of Bernardo Silva. We will wait and see. Moving on, we've got an update on Ederson. Very similar situation there as well. Fabrizio Romano has said that there is some interest in Ederson, and he could well leave Manchester City in the summer. City stance again, if a good offer comes in and Ederson once more lets the club know that he does want to leave, City will not stand in the way if he does not want to be here. Same situation with Matheus Nunes, with Bernardo Silva, and it's also for the same situation with John Stones. However, the big difference between John Stones and Matheus Nunes, Bernardo Silva and Ederson, all the other three players have got genuine clubs interested who have expressed an interest to the players' agents, whereas with John Stones, City would sell for the right price. However, doesn't believe that there is much interest in John Stones as of right now. All is being reported by Fabrizio Romano. Now, moving on to the final transfer of the hours is an interesting update on Kevin de Bruyne. So Jack Gaughan has said that Kevin de Bruyne is expected to leave Manchester City in the summer when his contract expires. He says that City could see as many as 5 first-team players leave this summer, with Kevin de Bruyne being one of them. So we're wondering now about who the 5 players would be. Now, Ilkay Gundogan is close to meeting the appearance fee as part of his contract, which would see him potentially sign a new contract extension at the club should that criteria be met. So there is an extension clause in his contract with which is based on appearances, that if he does make them appearances, then it would trigger an automatic 1 year extension of his contract. However, Jack Gaughan has said that Ilkay Gundogan is the kind of guy who would be willing to walk away even if he does meet that appearance clause of his contract, because he's the kind of guy that would do that. I imagine probably want a fee for that if that was to be the case. He also says that Matheus Nunes and Ederson are also expected to receive offers from other clubs this summer, as well as some question marks coming in about other players who have had interest previously from last summer, including Mateo Kovacic from Saudi Arabia and Jack Grealish from clubs in the Premier League. I have also said that there is some early question marks being set by Manchester City, who are concerned about John Stones when it comes to his fitness. Bernardo Silva entering into the last year of his City contract, there will be interest, so he could be another player that could leave. Same with James McAtee entering into the last year of his contract. He could be another player that leaves City in the summer. Personally, I reckon if I was to go out there and say which players I think will leave, I think it'll be a bit of a midfield merry-go-round. So De Bruyne, Gundogan, Kovacic I think will leave, with potentially Ederson leaving as a goalkeeper. Maybe just keeping an eye on Jack Grealish as well. Kyle Walker, I presume, not considered a City player, so he will be leaving in the summer, as will Calvin Phillips, as City look to try and get this overhaul sorted in the summer. Now, Sacha Tavolieri has said that the entourages of Kevin de Bruyne, Jack Grealish, Bernardo Silva, John Stones, Ilkay Gundogan, Mateo Kovacic and Ederson have all been spoken to by Manchester City, and City have told the agents of these players that their clients need to start looking for another club at the start of the summer transfer window. But Fabrizio Romano has said that these are just rumours, and Manchester City haven't told any players' representatives that they want them to find a new club as of yet. But there is an expectation of change at Manchester City amongst the Manchester City first team players, and Fabrizio Romano has said that Manchester City still have not told Kevin de Bruyne that his story is over, but there is genuine interest coming in from Saudi Arabia and teams in the United States of America who are keeping up to date with the contract situation of Kevin de Bruyne every single week. Remember, every team that is based outside of England can speak legally to Kevin de Bruyne directly and can get him on a pre-contract agreement. Kevin de Bruyne waiting to hear what Manchester City have to say first before deciding on what he wants to do next. Now, should Kevin de Bruyne leave this summer, we would need another replacement, but Paul Hirst has said that the latest he was hearing out of Kevin de Bruyne's camp is that Manchester City would potentially like De Bruyne to stay for another season, and De Bruyne would be happy with limited game time as he is settled at Manchester City, but I would imagine if he is to stay, it would need him to drop his wage. We'll see what does happen. Very much keeping my eyes and ears open on Kevin de Bruyne and all the other potential outgoings for Manchester City. Now, moving on to the ins, we've got the very latest on goalkeeper James Trafford. The Daily Mail have said that Manchester City have a buyback clause for James Trafford at Burnley. He's a 22-year-old former Manchester City goalkeeper who is homegrown and English. Newcastle are still expected to sign him. However, Man City do have a buyback clause active in his contract worth £40 million, which is also Burnley's value for James Trafford in the summer, which Newcastle apparently are happy to pay. So should City want to bring in James Trafford, they may have to act quickly to make that happen, and with question marks coming in over both Stefan Ortega Moreno and Ederson, we will see if City do want to have a look at James Trafford. And sticking on the goalkeeping theme moves us nicely onto an update on Diogo Costa, a goalkeeper City were being linked with last summer, and Mercato in Italy have said that Manchester City are looking at goalkeepers and have identified the FC Porto goalkeeper Diogo Costa as their main priority, and have already made contact with the entourage of the 25-year-old Portuguese number one. He would be my top replacement as well should Ederson leave this summer. I think he's a quality goalkeeper, but we'll see. City have got good links with the Portuguese league, with Hugo Viana, City's new sporting director, coming in from Portugal, from Sporting Club de Portugal. Now, moving on, we've also got the latest on another player City we've been linked with quite a lot during the January transfer window, and that's an update on Samuele Ricci over at Torino. And Sacha Tavolieri has said that Manchester City's midfield's needing a bit of transition, and because of that, City are still interested in Samuele Ricci from Torino. Remember, he's a 23-year-old Italian central midfielder who can help cover in defensive midfield as well. Very much of interest to Manchester City still. He did sign a new contract with Torino to keep him there during the January transfer window, but is open to leaving Torino Torino in the summer transfer window, and Torino are open to selling should the price be right. There is some interest coming in from Italy as well, including from AC Milan. Now moving on, got a new name, Ousmane Diomande from Sporting CP. Now Sacha Tavolieri has said that City are keeping an eye on Diomande from Sporting CP. He's a centre-back. He's not the first centre-back to be linked with a move for Manchester City this summer, so I am presuming that while City are focusing on midfield, they are also looking at defenders, so I don't know what that would mean for the futures of the likes of John Stones, Nathan Ake, Manuel Akanji. You guys tell me. But Diomonde, 21-year-old centre-back from the Ivory Coast. Hugo Viana will know all about him from his time with Sporting and is of interest to Manchester City in the summer transfer window. Now moving on, we've got the latest on Andrea Cambiaso as well, the left-back from Juventus, 25 years old from Italy. Sacha Tavolieri has said that he's very much still on Manchester City's radar and is still in contact with the player's entourage to try and get a deal sorted. He is Manchester City's main priority when it comes to a full-back in the summer, with Manchester City seeing him as a right-back because they like that he's two-footed and versatile. Juventus believed to be asking for somewhere between 60 to 80 million euros in January, and I imagine we're probably looking at a similar fee for the summer transfer window as well, so we'll see if City are working on that, whether they can get an agreement in place before the summer transfer window even opens. You can get agreements done in principle, so we will see. Now Mike McGrath has said that Manchester City are still holding out their interest in Cambiaso, but if they can't work out a deal, are interested in Newcastle fullback Tino Livramento, who is an option instead. He does go on to say that City are also looking at midfielders and looking at the number 8 position, so I presume that would mean maybe that Ilkay Gundogan will be leaving the club in the summer. And moving on, we've also got the latest on Florian Wirtz, and Sacha Tavolieri has said that Pep Guardiola has chosen Florian Wirtz as the player that he wants Manchester City to replace Kevin de Bruyne with. He says that City have made approaches in January to try and bring Florian Wirtz and made direct approaches with the players' camp, and were told by his camp that it would cost more than 100 million euros plus bonuses to make a deal happen. I do feel a lot here depends on what Florian Wirtz wants to do. Is he going to sign a new deal, which apparently he is close to doing according to reports over the last few weeks in Germany. If he signs that new deal, there will be an exit clause in that contract, but that won't come active until the summer of 2026 rather than the summer of 2025. So City do want to bring in Florian Wirtz for this summer. They're going to have to be speaking with his camp to say, hold up, don't sign a new contract. We're going to try and work on a deal to bring you to the club instead. Remember, De Bruyne's contract expires in June of this year, so well within City's interest to look long-term when it comes to replacing Kevin De Bruyne. Jack Gaughan has said that Manchester City see Florian Wirtz and Phil Foden as their ideal midfield duo. They want Wirtz to come in and replace Kevin De Bruyne, and they want Florian Wirtz to lead Manchester City's next round of transitioning in the summer, which I find really interesting. And Martin Blackburn, very reliable with City information from The Sun, says City are prepared to go head-to-head with Real Madrid to try and sign Florian Wirtz this summer, and it's thought that the player is keen on a move to Madrid, so that could be a potential hiccup. Now, Paul Hirst has said that Florian Wirtz is Manchester City's top target for the summer. The Mail have said that Bayer Leverkusen is still keen on James McAtee from Manchester City, and should a deal be agreed that sees Florian Wirtz signed for Manchester City in the summer, then Bayer Leverkusen would like James McAtee to be included in that deal. Remember, McAtee still has not signed a new deal at Manchester City as he enters into his final year of his contract this summer, and again, a situation I'm keeping my eyes and ears open on. I am also keeping my eyes and ears open on what happens with Xabi Alonso, because if he leaves Bayer Leverkusen and ends up going to Real Madrid, I can imagine Florian Wirtz being keen on linking up once more with Alonso at Real Madrid. So there's lots of little hiccups here that could go wrong with this deal. If City do want to make it happen, they've got to be prompt, they've got to be smart, they've got to be everything to make this deal happen. Very similar deal, in my opinion, when City managed to bring in Erling Haaland. So we are capable of doing it, but we will have to be very prompt. And if it is to happen, I would say if this goes on maybe into July or August, it's less likely to happen. It'd be very much a May and June thing. You look to try and strike early. If not, then I can't see the deal happening. So we'll see. I'm keeping my eyes and ears open on it. Now, moving on to the final transfer, I want to warmly welcome Claudio Echeverri to Manchester City, who is now in Manchester, training with the Manchester City first team squad, and is in contention to potentially make his debut this weekend with Manchester City's FA Cup game against Plymouth Argyle. It's believed that Echeverri is working on his fitness right now, as he is carrying a knock from the Under-20 Copa America tournament with Argentina. So I want to welcome Claudio to Manchester City and wishing him the very best of luck here. He's going to wear the number 30 shirt. He signs from River Plate for a deal worth £12.5 million plus add-ons, and he signs on a 3.5-year contract until the summer of 2028, which just does sound a little bit short. However, Man City will look to try and get him onto a new deal. So they'll give him a year and then they'll extend his contract, and it'll more than likely be a 4 or 5 year contract from there, which explains why the contract's a little shorter than what it normally is. But you've got to remember, we got this deal sorted last year, and then he stayed at River Plate for an extra season as part of his development. So yeah, anyway, he's a 19-year-old midfielder who plays in attacking midfield behind the striker, and he's 19 years old, Argentinian, very much a lot of potential. Looking forward to seeing what he can do. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we may even see him this weekend. So there we go. That has been today's transfer update. If you did enjoy this video, please do leave a thumbs up. That would be much appreciated. 300 likes is the aim. Also, don't forget as well to leave your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Also, don't forget social media links. They're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And finally, I want to say a big thank you to today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by Kitbag. Remember, you can go and check out that special deal available for today only, the City away shirt, £30. Links and details, they are in the descriptions. I've got lots of other deals that you can go and check out on Kitbag as well, covering Manchester City and other clubs as well. So do go and check it out. Links and details there in the description. And a big thank you to Kitbag for sponsoring this video. And I'll see you all again real soon for the next one. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.